What's going on, drinking buddies? Brand new podcast coming right at you. But real quick, before we get into it, I hope everyone's continuing to stay safe out there, stay healthy. We are not out of the fucking woods with this pandemic yet. So if you can, I hope you're able to stay home. If you're not staying home, I hope you're making the smartest and safest choices you possibly can. If you're out supporting protests, good on you. And I hope you're doing that in a safe manner as well. This week's podcast is brought to you by me. The video versions of this podcast are available on Vimeo. They're $6.99 a month or 99 cents an episode. And you can't beat it. They're ad-free, full HD. I finally fixed the lighting issue, so the upcoming episodes will actually be well lit, amazingly. Check them out today at www.anwd.net/videos. Once again, that is www.anwd.net/videos. They're a damn good time, and they support the show. They put a little money in my pocket, which production work is still down, and I'd appreciate the fuck out of you if you could throw me a bone there. We are also brought to you this week by me playing video games on Twitch. That's right, guys. I'm a Twitch streamer now. With all my extra downtime, I've been playing video games on the internet for people's amusement. I'm kind of a nerdy cam girl now, where I don't get naked, I just say ignorant things over video games. Multiple streams a week at twitch.tv/MattFandSlayer. Once again, that is twitch.tv/MattFandSlayer. Come watch me play video games. Come hang out in the chat. Pitch me ideas about people you want to see on the show. Just come hang out. And if you have Amazon Prime, do me a huge solid. Subscribe to the channel for free. Once again, put some money in my pocket. Every little bit counts at this point, and I appreciate the hell out of you for it. Last, but certainly not least, we are brought to you by our friends at Vinyl Me Please. Vinyl Me Please is the Record of the Month Club. The best damn Record of the Month Club. In fact, every month, Vinyl Me Please has one album that is essential to the modern vinyl collection. Albums come packaged with things that are exclusive to Vinyl Me Please. Things like bonus tracks, inserts, color variants, and come packaged with a 12x12 album-inspired art print and custom cocktail pairing recipe. You can't get it anywhere else. Rad vinyl. Cocktail recipes, some custom art, and Vinyl Me Please isn't like Record of the Month clubs of old. It's month to month, no strings attached, cancel anytime. So sign up today at www.joinvmp.com/ANWD. Once again, that is www.joinvmp.com/ANWD. All right, drinking buddies, let's get on with the show. My guest this week is adult performer / comedian or comedian / adult performer, Miss Sally Mullins. You may know her from her various appearances at the Comedy Store, her new special available on Amazon Prime called Sleazy Does It, or you may know her from some granny fetish porn. All are good places to know her from. Sally is fucking amazing. I've been trying to get her on the show for quite some time. A big shout out to Veronica Ricci for making this happen. And yeah, me and Sally had a fucking blast. Sit back, relax, pop a cold one, and enjoy, drinking buddies. Sally, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. I will be better in just a moment.
Yeah. What is that you're drinking?
I am drinking, once again, Elijah Craig Small Batch 94 proof bourbon. Please sponsor me. Please sponsor me so I stop paying for your product and get it for free like everyone else in Hollywood.
Yeah, that would be cool if they would. It looks good shit. How much is that bottle?
$26. It's actually a very reasonable price bourbon.
That's beautiful. What do you drink it with?
Ice.
Just straight?
Yep.
That's pretty intense. That's great.
I would show it to the camera, but I was like, oh yeah, I'll probably end up pouring it on my keyboard if I did that, so let's not do that.
We see it. It looks good. You know, my ex-boyfriend, he's got a terrible drinking problem and no money, and he drinks Christian Brothers. That's a brandy, right?
I think so, maybe.
It's nasty shit. Like, that's a whiskey, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good whiskey.
It's a decent whiskey. The whiskey, Fucking whiskey's so weird. Because whiskey, it's like, oh, hey, you can get this good bottle for $26. Or you can spend $400 on some shit and be like, what the fuck am I drinking?
What? And it's the same thing?
Some of it.
Yeah. Okay.
Like,
yeah, it can get really pricey.
Like, one of my favorite brands used to be around this price point, and people discovered it. The distillery that puts it out decided to start putting it on consignment. If you can find a bottle of it, it starts at like $90 now.
Dude.
Like, how are you going to tell me in 3 years a bottle that used to be $26 is now worth $90 a bottle for the exact same fucking thing?
Some rapper drank it or something.
Actually, a bunch of like whiskey snobs, and basically what they found out is that it. Do you know what Pappy Van Winkle is?
No.
Okay, so Pappy Van Winkle is like the bougie fucking must-have whiskey.
Okay.
And what I used to drink was basically rejected Pappy. It was the same mash barrels, same stuff. It was just part of the rejected batch that wasn't quite up to standards that they just put a different label on.
Oh, cool.
And once people found that out and like, oh, I can get the same mash barrels and it's just not aged as long and it's rejected from the Pappy batch for $26, people start just gobbling it up.
And that's what that is, basically?
No. That is W.L. Weller's Special Reserve, which I have half a bottle left because as much as I enjoy it, I can't bring myself to spend $90 on a bottle I'm going to drink from pretty regularly.
Yeah, don't do that. I mean, like let somebody do that for you.
I got to get much prettier or start catering to a different crowd for that to happen.
You're pretty enough. You'll get it. You'll get it.
Well, I take that as a compliment from a master of two disciplines.
Comedy and fetish or granny porn or there's so many, really. Master of none. I want to drink. I always want to drink. I would love to get shit-faced all day in quarantine, but I just can't. I'll have no business being naked in front of the camera. It'll ravage what's left of my looks, which are what they always were, like, I look pretty much the same. I looked like 50 when I was 20. So, but I'm on borrowed time. So
aren't we all though?
I'm on borrowed time when I'm naked. Huh?
Aren't we all though?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I know. I mean, I'm doing a show Friday, which is explicitly a cocktail mixing show. And I was like, let me check with him and see if I have to drink on the show. And you were really cool about it. You were like, yeah, it's up to you.
Oh no, it's amazing how many comics are like, oh, I don't want to do your show, man. I don't drink. I'm like, you don't have to drink. You just have to put up with me drinking.
I want you to get drunk. Have you ever tried the J.R. Ewing whiskey?
Maybe. I'm not ringing any barrels off the top of my head, but I do drink a lot, so sometimes.
Do you like vodka?
I've been known to drink vodka here and there.
Mm-hmm. I prefer vodka to whiskey, but I'll fuck that up. And Jack, and Jim Beam, that's bourbon, right?
So, Beam is yes, Jack is not. So Jack is a Tennessee sour mash.
Okay.
This is going to be me nerding out on liquor a little bit. So for it to be bourbon, the mash has to be 51% corn, and has to be aged a minimum of no less than 3 years. So Jack doesn't quite meet those standards.
Okay.
Because of their mash, and I don't think they age that long.
What about Southern Comfort?
That is a whiskey liqueur.
Okay. Very sweet then.
Yeah, that is why it's a liqueur, and I don't understand the concept of drinking whiskey-flavored liqueur. Like, drink whiskey then. Just drink whiskey.
Yeah, just drink whiskey.
I mean, as a kid, I didn't know any better. It's like, oh, just put it in front of me. Okay, cool, SoCo.
Yeah. Why should you? I mean, you're a kid. You're just a kid getting drunk. You're not supposed to have taste. You're just supposed to have problems.
Yeah, it was pretty much like, what will the homeless guy buy me? Okay, cool.
Yes, exactly. I was like, what would the pedophile buy me? What will the pedophile buy me? I'll take it. Wine coolers. That's what I'm getting drunk on. That's what I'm throwing up later. Wine coolers. That's it.
Those are the worst. Neon vomit from the random color of the wine coolers. That's the absolute worst.
You're like, am I throwing up blood? I'm 14. What happens?
Right? I don't know any better. I can't go to my parents with this.
When you do, it sucks.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad you didn't. Oh, yeah, it really is lame.
Oh, no,
yeah.
I definitely had to do it one time. I had got really drunk with some friends that were in college while I was still in high school.
That's cool you had college friends.
I don't know if they thought so, especially after I made a horrible mess and puked on the floor.
They're like, this is what happens, man. I told you not to let the kid drink.
Yep. And then I had to fucking pretty much, I got so sick. I was just basically had to get my father to pick me up and soaked in a bathtub and just puking off the side for the next couple hours.
Was your dad pissed?
A little.
Uh-huh.
But, hey, whatever. It happened.
Yeah, it did. I remember I was retching in the bowl in the morning, and my mom was like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I've been drinking. And she was real pissed. But
well, what was your trick to get alcohol underage in those days?
Talk to some creeper at the 7-Eleven,
Do hey mister, can you get us hey mister?
Oh, hey, sorry to bother you. I'm trying to go to a party. Yeah, talk to a pedophile, catch his eye, bat your eyes, try.
Hope that he was a straight pedophile.
Yeah, just hope that he was, gonna let us go do our own thing. Hope he was shy. Just hope he was shy. And he was. Getting booze would be at a party where there were older people who would get the booze for you. But if you really just wanted it off the street, you sometimes had to go the only thing the guy had going for him was an ID. So put a little time with that dude. Yeah.
Did it ever get sketchy, or were they always just shy and kind of ran away?
Well, it stopped getting sketchy because I met an older dude in high school, not heading where you think it is, gay dude, and he pretty much showed me how to party. And he was a year older than me in high school, so he already had the fake ID. I got a fake ID. This is 1985. I got a fake ID out of the back of the National Enquirer. I mean, this is I am just so happy. I'm don't get me COVID, I'm older now and, I want to keep living because you see ridiculously hilarious stuff. But I had an ID, you send in a photo and $6 and they put it on some fake license from another state. And that worked for a while. I was getting into bars. I mean, it was 19 to get into bars, but then they made it 21. But I was getting into bars when I was 16, gay bars with dudes, drinking, doing coke. South Florida, it was a lot of fun. But because it was gay dudes and gay bars, my hymen stayed intact. And I got to do a lot of freaky shit without getting pressured sexually. And if there was a guy hanging out at the gay bars and we started dating, he was in the closet. He didn't want to fuck me. He was just confused,
He's just no, this is my proof that I'm straight, this underage girl.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. I met a girl on Sunday nights at the Copa in Fort Lauderdale. We talk about music.
The 80s, such a wild time. Better to be a pedophile than to be gay.
I guess it kind of was, right? Yeah, at least they were straight,
So messed up.
Yeah. Well, I had a couple of pedophiles try stuff, but I was really lucky, but I really like the gay guys. It's because of the gay guys that I had it so good. I mean, the gay guys and I did do some freaky shit, but not sexual. They taught me how to kiss, and they would use me to lure questionable dudes,
Hey boys, come this way.
Yeah. And then that was very confusing to then see that guy who liked you than having sex with a man in front of you. You know, that was a little bit like, okay, everyone's open to things, you know? You got to try some weird shit.
When did you realize that you were the bait and switch?
Well, pretty much right away, but I still always came first because that was the day, that was fag and hag, you know? And, you know, you were proud to be a fag hag. That's what you wanted to be called. That's what your fag called you. And you always, I mean, that was just a trick. You knew where you stood. But sometimes, like, it was cool when gay guys would fall in love. But the problem would be if the dude thought you were a threat as a woman. That's where it would get really scary. It wasn't about, like, your guy is off with another guy and you don't get to see him. Like, that hurt, but it was like when that gay guy was like, I don't like whatever is here. Which was, I didn't have sex with gay dudes. You know, I wasn't trying to have sex with them. Like, I wasn't looking for, and I wasn't getting tricked. You know, a lot of girls, like, they get tricked. These guys were not looking to trick, you know, they're picking up tricks. And I was helping them. That's all. 80s fun. 80s fun.
See, you know,
Polaroids, taking photos of dudes with Polaroids. I was like the photographer. I was like shooting gay porn, you know? I was an underage girl shooting gay porn in South Florida.
And there's the soundbite for the episode.
Mm-hmm. But my guy, I don't want to call him an FAG. I don't want to hurt people's feelings because that's not what I came on the show to do, to fucking hurt gay guys' feelings. Christ, I love them. But he died of AIDS when he was like 42. So only like 10 years ago or so, 10 or 11 years ago. But it's because he partied so hard. But he taught me everything about partying.
The unprotected sex had nothing to do with it, right?
Hmm?
The unprotected sex had nothing to do with it, right?
It was just hard to keep that shit in check as much as he partied, put it that way. Once he got HIV and nothing was working. So because of Tina, you know, like gay guys call meth Tina. So he passed away, but he was just an incredible influence in terms of, I mean, you know, we smoked pot. Pot in the 80s in Florida was really good shit. Even the homegrown weed was great. And we drank a lot. You could get like a 6-pack of Nordic Wolf through a farm store's drive-through. And it's like a bottle beer. And you could get fucked up, you know, a 6-pack of Nordic Wolf each. Metabolism, you know, we're kids. It was so great. And we did coke. I remember the first time I did coke was at a water park. The outfield was playing, you know, Josie's on a vacation far. Yeah.
Well, my mind is blown about who brings a baggie of coke.
How old are you?
I'm 39.
Okay, cool. That's a great age.
According to your special, I'm right in your sweet spot for dating. So
yeah, you are. That's the perfect age. Are you divorced?
No. One fiance left me at the altar at AVN. That's about it.
What? Okay, let me get this straight. A fiance left you at the altar at AVN.
Yeah, we also got engaged during AVN. So
that's a loaded. You know, you just spat out a lot. So would you break it down for me?
My audience has definitely heard this story before, but AVN 2014, I ditched the award show, and another performer friend of mine, we got a little hammered, and she's like, this is my first trip to Vegas. I'm doing a horrible impression of her. This is my first trip to Vegas. I should have a quickie wedding. And I went, fuck it, I'm in. So
you married your friend, or you were going to marry your friend?
Yeah, we went and got the wedding license and everything, and then we sobered up.
Is she a porn star?
She was.
She got out of the biz?
Yeah, she's happily married with a kid these days.
Nice. Was she a pretty well-known adult actress?
She was pretty decent on like shooting for Burning Angel in those days.
Uh-huh.
So.
Oh, she's tatted up girl?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
So.
Well, that's interesting. That's cool.
I still have the text message saved. It's like, hey, I don't think I got enough money in my account to do this. Let's call it. I'm like, you're leaving me at the altar via text? Really?
Better than getting ghosted.
It's true. It's true. I mean, we're obviously still cool. It would, on one hand, it would have been hilarious if we'd actually gone through with it. On the other, I'm kind of glad we didn't.
Were you guys having sex?
We did for the first time after we got engaged.
Cool.
Yeah, that day was a absolutely just drunken blur.
Oh, I miss drunken blurs.
Yeah, it was. All I remember was we agreed to get married. All of a sudden, we're just going at it like we lost all our friends because we're just making out on the casino floor.
Well, you guys must have had some kind of really good love for each other.
Yeah, it was a good time. I think a lot of the alcohol was involved. I think it was a lot of the booze talking.
Hey, like alcohol brings stuff out, especially like walking around in my house in the pandemic. I decided to you really limit it to a once a week thing. Like I've got to stay focused because I am an introvert and I can really be productive and make use of this time and really enjoy it in a way. I hate to be a dick, but I give to charity every week to take the edge off the fact that this is kind of a bit of a better setup for me because I'm used to going out and doing shows like just about every night of the week. That means, I live in Winnetka, so it means I leave the valley like 6:30ish, and then I'm home like 11:30 midnight. And instead of doing that, I'm still doing tons of comedy. I'm Zoom micing. I'm doing podcasts. I did a stage reading where I was Elizabeth Warren today in a scene.
Was that pornographic or non-pornographic?
This was non-pornographic, but it was like very much rated R. I mean, it really was just more like a porn with a script. It was pretty cool.
And did you talk about fucking Bernie?
No, she was fucking the Marine. It was kind of like, that bullshit story they tried to bring out about her. They tried to make that rumor that she called an escort service. Well,
if she had, she would have gotten my vote if she had.
See, I think it would have helped her. Actually, the way she handled it was really great. She was just like, she didn't even dignify it. It was that guy. He's like a really right wing, but he's conspiracy theory, Jacob Wall or whatever they call him. He's always making shit up about Hillary and he's crazy. He's got like a little money and, a little sanity.
And I'm sure there are thousands of people listening to him and hanging off his every word because that's just how it goes.
Yeah. He had like a phony press conference and he paid some Marine dude to say that he fucked her and the Marine dude was like laughing at the press conference. I mean, it's ridiculous. Elizabeth Warren's really cool. She's too smart. And like, if she ended up somewhere with Biden, like if she would be the vice president, I could get working porn as her definitely. I've already got my DVD coming out, Scoring with Warren. But don't you think, Matt, I also look like Carol Baskin?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're not as heavy as Carol. So
well, no.
You definitely have to put on some weight to be Carol Baskin.
Yeah, and there's no point to do that because I wouldn't get cast as her in Hollywood because nobody knows who the fuck I am. So I'd just be like fat,
And nobody wants to be fat in Hollywood. Nobody.
Well,
you have to get comedically fat if you want to get fat in Hollywood. You can't just be like a little fat.
Yeah.
That's my problem. I'm a little fat, not rotund.
Yeah, you got to keep drinking. I see some Reese's.
Oh, yeah. I drunkenly bought 3 pounds of Reese's Pieces.
Damn. Well, you're not a binge eater because you haven't, been taking any of them while we've been talking.
No. They've been there for weeks. It was just really like a hyper drunk Amazon moment. Like I bought 5 pounds of gummy bears and 3 pounds of Reese's Pieces. And
that's pretty interesting that you can do that.
Yeah, believe it or not, I have a little bit of self-control. A little.
Because if you put that in front of me, that would be, but I would be like, get that away,
Well, it's good to know when we eventually do this in person to hide the Reese's.
Yeah. If I'm coming over and they're there, look, I'll tell you something. I don't like it when people have podcasts and they don't offer you shit to eat and drink. I'm just going to say that. I mean, I know if I come over, you're going to offer me a drink and there's going to be nibbles.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, in a normal in-studio experience, I cater to whatever my guest wants to drink as long as they're not crazy about it.
Yeah. As long as I'm not going to be like, busting through that glass.
Well, no, you could bust through that. I've had people be like, can you buy me like $100 bottle? I'm like, motherfucker.
Oh, that is so rude.
motherfucker, you're going to be here for like an hour or two.
That is so rude. I mean, because you're just like, what do you drink? You drink vodka, you drink white wine, you Sauvignon Blanc, okay, got it. Like, that's so, that is so rude. Oh, that's annoying.
Yeah, I definitely had one guest who her publicist was like, oh, she drinks this kind of white wine. I'm like, is this okay? Her publicist was like, yeah, fine. She gets her, like, no, that won't do.
So what did you do?
I ordered something else.
Oh, goodness. Well, I mean, I'm here in Winnetka, and I mean, I'm Winnetka successful, but I'm not going to be, I mean, as in I pay my rent in the pandemic. That's Winnetka successful. I'm going to be like, I paid rent in COVID.
I did too, but it's on the government.
Nice. But they got that check. That's actually funny. Oh my God. I have to text myself that. Even when I'm like turning tricks, like in my escorting days, which were just like very recent, up until very recently, I'll be like, I'm just texting a joke, tell a guy, like, I'm sure they love that.
It's like, wait a minute, you're stealing my material? Damn.
Sometimes they say funny shit, like my clients, like when you're fucking them or you get funny ideas from them. But I don't think I don't want to go back to escorting actually post COVID. I had guys like bugging me every day to do it. And today I actually had a female provider hit me up for a reference. So I know that people are back doing it.
I know a couple of people that are, and it's like
phase 2. It's phase 2.
Well, I know some people that were doing it the whole time. And one of my friends who's like, well, my client only sees me. I'm like, but do you really know that? Do you really? I mean,
that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing.
I'm statistically going to be fine if I catch COVID. Statistically. Still not willing to roll that dice.
No. My roommate, my green card husband, he smokes Cools. So he's high risk. He's almost 50 and he smokes Cools.
He isn't. So there's new studies coming out that nicotine helps protect you from COVID.
You are fucking kidding me.
No.
People have joked about that, but these are studies coming out.
Yep. So I've heard it from different sources, both of which I trust, and I got to do more research on it, but I've heard it from, so one of my friend's wives is, a PhD medical researcher, and it came to me that way. And I was like, skeptical, and then I heard it from someone else. I'm like, okay, these are people that I trust their opinion and trust that they actually research shit, not just, crazy conspiracy theory friends. And thankfully, I'm an occasional cigar smoker. So no lung cancer, plenty of nicotine. Yay. But I'm still not willing to roll the dice. I'm trying to figure out how to break it to my chiropractor that I don't need an adjustment. Because my chiropractor has reopened for people that are in serious pain. He's like, let's get you in for an appointment. And I just yeah, sure. And I thought about it for a second. I'm like, no, this is not what I need to do. I do not need to have someone touching me who has touched someone else. You
don't need it. I mean, I was thinking about canceling my dental PPO. I have British teeth, but do I want somebody working on my mouth, in 3 months? And as far as going back, no, I've been doing solo content out of my place in Winnetka for my OnlyFans and really investing in that, because you know how it is in porn. You're always like, if I have more time to really get in there and communicate with, the followers and the subscribers. And then I've had that chance and it's been really good. So I've been developing more shit on OnlyFans and, I'm going to start some others too.
I mean, honestly, I feel like the pandemic is going to kill the traditional industry. Because
I went to a meeting, a Zoom meeting yesterday, was it, for FSC? And a couple of producers were like, it's just too sketchy to open anytime soon. And didn't the health inspector say something about August 3rd? Today I heard.
Well, LA County is talking about the stay-at-home order going another 3 months.
Yeah, that's yeah. Okay.
So,
Wow.
Well, at the end of the day, you and other performers can still make money during this and kill it. And people that are purely behind the camera, purely production, are fucked. And why would someone like you or any other performer who is killing it with OnlyFans go back to doing mainstream production after this?
Unless you're like A-level porn star and you were making $2,000 or $3,000 in shoots every week.
Yeah, but I know some pretty big mainstream performers who make $80,000 a month on their OnlyFans pre-pandemic.
I know chicks who are not even in porn who are making like 40 grand a month on OnlyFans because they have all these girls underneath them. And they're getting 5% of that and they're coaching. And that's what I'm going to start trying to do too through YouTube. I have a friend back in Florida. She's never done anything like this. And I'm like, that's what kills on OnlyFans, you know, a real person who's not pouring it out for everybody. Like I had to kind of work backwards on OnlyFans and be like, no, there's someone real under that granny porn, you know? I had to prove myself to these perverts.
Because in 2020, somehow men are still like, oh, but I want to feel special. I want that level of purity that it's not available to anyone else.
You know, guys are like that because this is what they always say. They're always like, you know, Sally Mullins, you know, there's just something about her. And I'm like, well, what is it? Is it good looks, a great sense of humor, cool person? I don't know what it is. Every guy wants to feel like there's something he sees that nobody else sees.
That you're some diamond in the rough.
Yeah, that only he can appreciate, you know? It's like, no, everybody gets it and jerks off to it and comes on it.
Yeah, that's why there's a revenue stream. If only one person was into it, unless that person's significantly rich, you'd starve.
That's what starts to happen. Like when guys start to like you on OnlyFans, like they want to keep you broke. Like I've had sugar daddies who like try to keep you broke, and you're like, I know white trash is fun, but you know,
well,
let's not take it to the next level.
Well, that's how they keep you dependent on them. Just give you enough that you survive, but you can only survive on them.
I'm easy to, the sugar daddy thing is not for me. I don't want to fake anything. Like if it's real, it's one thing, or if there's like a real mentoring thing going on. But, you know, at my age, like the sugar daddy, you know, he's pretty fucking ancient. So. Yeah,
he's on a fucking ventilator.
Hopefully. Well, that would be a rich one. Hey, if my sugar daddy's on a ventilator, he's got bucks. Your sugar daddy can't even get on a ventilator.
Full on Anna Nicole Smith that shit.
You got a broke ass COVID pandemic sugar daddy. He can't even get a ventilator.
He can't even afford a private room.
That's funny. I gotta put that.
I write your fucking new special for you. Fuck.
I'll take it. I want to do another one. I want to do a social distancing one. It's fun having a special out because, like, for like 4 days, people are like, "Oh, you know, we're watching your special. It's so great." And I'm like, oh, so many texts. And now it's like calming down a little. I'm like, isn't anyone watching it? You know?
Well, I watched a chunk of it before we jumped on air, so.
I'm glad. That's really sweet of you. Thank you. Amazon. It's on Amazon Prime. And you got Amazon Prime, right?
I do.
Good. Dude, don't be paying for the special. Because when will I get a check from Amazon? It's like 4 months. I think I even read it. It said like 90 days after the first month ends. So people are like, oh, when are you going to see that money? Because I watched it. Well,
it's
so cute.
What's the pay-per episode on, if you don't mind me asking, on the Prime with the people that get it for free?
I believe it's bad.
I would only imagine. Amazon's really not known for their fair cuts to their providers.
I don't know. I kind of looked at it and tried to understand it, but, you know, it didn't take. I just know it's bad. And the only reason I did it was so I can have that credit. And I'm going to say something like I act all hard and shit. Like everyone, too many texts. I'm so stressed out. But the way people were so supportive to me about that special, It meant so much because I did it once and I wasn't happy with my performance. And a bunch of people were like, that was great. They pulled me out of the funk. And then my producer was like, oh, well, we're just going to do it again. It's because there was also technical stuff. You do it the first time with sound issues.
Well, 100%. Like, even the pros do 3 tapings when they do their specials.
Right? What the fuck? I mean, I produced this whole thing for like under $500 too. So the fact that it's up there, it's all about like just the support of my friends.
Well, and it looks, not to knock it, it looks like a professional special. It doesn't look like, a $500 special.
It looks good.
It looks good. I attended, this may get me canceled in 2020, but I attended Louis C.K.'s Live at the Comedy Store. And I saw the rigs that he had set up, and that they did multiple tapings for fucking Louis C.K.
Yeah.
So the fact that you need multiple tapings is nothing to be ashamed of. That's 100% how it should be.
I did 2 shows, but you know what? I didn't hang up the audience and keep them there. You would have respected the fact that I wanted everyone to get to the bar, I was more into, let's do the interviews of the audience and then I'll get their credit. Then they get a little credit. And they were hilarious. You see at the end of my show, people are like, I want to do granny porn. It's like, that was the best part of the show. No, my friends made that happen. You saw the love in that audience.
Oh, 100%.
I don't know why people love me. I don't know.
Well, that's part of why you're in comedy, right? Because you don't know why people love you.
Exactly. You need that love, and you're going to find it, or you're going to find a way to get it. Like if you didn't get it enough growing up, you're going to find a way, and hopefully it'll work out, and it doesn't just come off as, knocking on doors.
Yeah, but I feel like that's part of the struggle too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Especially with the bringer shows that are everyone and their mother does in LA. It's like,
well, bringer show culture is over for now. It's over for 2020. And I have a joke about it, and I don't like to try to work my jokes into the conversation. So I'll just tell you the joke is basically like the audience will finally be able to say, your bringer shows are making me sick. So it sounds cheesy to say it out of an act, but large gatherings, that's some 2021 shit, right?
If we're lucky.
That's some post-vaccine shit.
Yeah, I'm just hoping unprotected sex comes back before 2021.
Oh, it's going to. It already is. It already, like I said, reference checks. And I don't want to be like everyone's mom, which I already am, and just be safe because people are going to do. Look, as an escort, I have clients regularly wanting to bareback. If they're not asking for it before, they're asking for it once they meet you. They're like, wow, this bitch got to be 50-something. She's doing something right. Looks safe to me.
Don't they know that people in your age group are the highest carriers of hepatitis? Come on.
Are we?
According to a sign I saw in the Atlanta airport at some point.
God, that sign's really ageist.
Sorry.
Do they hate cougars or something? What the fuck?
The only reason it sticks out, I don't mean to be ageist. The only reason it sticks out is because I was flying to the Atlanta airport, took a picture of them like, oh, hashtag don't fuck old people, and just kept going.
Calling us out. Well, that was a really cool thing, as far as getting tested for porn to find out, I don't have, because hepatitis, that's just not something that even your Kaiser doctor runs for you as a regular panel, but you get it, you test it for everything in porn, and they're going to add COVID, they're going to add that to the tests. So
they're still not going to add HPV or herpes, but we don't need that.
Herpes is a weird one because it can mean nothing. Yeah.
Well, herpes is all a scam of the pharmaceutical companies from the 70s.
Yeah. Oh, please. Oh, yeah. Valtrex is the biggest scam. They're like, if you're dating someone who has, if you're dating at all, you should take Valtrex.
Please.
Are you horny? Take Valtrex.
Right. Just take that Valtrex.
Do you have a dick? Do you have it? Look down between your legs. Do you have a dick or a vagina? You need to take Valtrex.
It's so true. And what's super fucked up is, they give you Valtrex if you have shingles?
Yeah. Yeah.
My
dad had it.
I had shingles in my 20s and had to do a round of Valtrex. And one of my dick-ass friends at the bar, because I fucking was hitting it off with some girl better than he was, like, don't you need to take another dose of Valtrex, you motherfucker? Like fuck you, dude.
That's when everyone knew what Valtrex was. That's when all the commercials were constantly.
But herpes is all marketing.
Yeah. Well, Kaiser's still ghetto in that they won't give you Valtrex, but they'll just go take more of the. You know what? I have that Esclovir or whatever you call it, and the rumor was that popped that during COVID season. You know, like when it first started, a couple of people were like, "Hey, do you have?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I have that," and they were like, "Pop it," and I did. Like the first. Let's see, March 19th was the day quarantine went into effect, I think. March 19th.
March 19th or 16th, somewhere around that neighborhood.
Yeah, the 19th. It was a Thursday night because I was on a movie set, a legit movie set, and the quarantine kicked in at midnight. And we were on the set after midnight, and the guy running the studio was like, "Hey, man, you guys got to wrap up. And I remember driving home being like, are we going to get stopped? Like it's so weird.
Is the Gestapo going to stop me from crossing into West Berlin? What the fuck?
Yeah, we were like, is it going to be martial law? And I was just mega dosing on supplements for like 5 or 6 days. You just didn't know,
And the crazy part is supplements may fucking kill you because those are unregulated as fuck.
Yeah. I like them though. Oh. I'm down with them. I'm all about supplement life. Oh, cool. What is that? D?
Vitamin D, because who's getting sunlight anymore?
That's a good D. You know what? Well...
Are we going to do the elderly podcast where we show off our supplements to the audience?
I am 51 and a half. I will show off my supplements, young man. You know what I do recommend? Zicam. I used to get really bad colds. Up until I was about your age, I used to get really bad colds, and they'd go into my chest, and I'd always get a cough. And I've had some respiratory stuff. That's why I'm a pussy about this too. I've had pneumonia.
I've had walking pneumonia 3 times, so like I'm fucking paranoid about this shit.
You should be. Then you should be. We're on the same page. We're like those people who've had the bad coughs.
Yeah, I'm 100% like I'm not gonna fuck around because someone else is like, oh, it won't be that bad. I'm like, I don't need to roll those dice. Like, this is a game where if, like, I roll the dice, there is no winning. There's no reason to roll the fucking dice. I'm just gonna sit here, podcast, drink, I've become, my audience already knows this, but I've become a mainstream fat nerd cam girl. I'm a Twitch streamer now, so I play video games for people.
Oh, perfect. That's great. My green card husband, you should hitch up with him because all he does on the weekend, if you need a Japanese guy who's kind of like caustic and hateful, get him on your stream or something because he's playing all weekend.
Caustic and hateful? I'm sold.
I think you'd like him. And he's smoking cools, and he's usually walking around in his auto repair uniform, even on the weekends, which makes no sense.
Hey, it's okay. This is the second podcast I've done since the pandemic that's not in a bathrobe, so...
Why were you doing it in bathrooms?
Just because I was wearing a bathrobe constantly. And
bathrobe. I thought you said a bathroom. I was like, was that a thing? Like,
no.
Toilet?
No. Just in my bathrobe because I was just like, I'm just the dude now. I'm just wearing a bathrobe. And
who gives a fuck? Why not? What? Pandemic. I mean, pants. Hello. It's amazing. I actually have them on. I have them on because I did this Elizabeth Warren reading, but they're yoga pants covering dog hair. Nice feet.
Oh shit! I'm gonna end up on Wiki Feet now. Fuck.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. Those are good feet.
Just showing the audience I'm not wearing pants.
Porn? Have you done any porn like POV or?
No, but I am an AVN nominee for Best on Sex Performance.
You were kidding me. I do those all the time too. What performance was it?
I played Rabbi Mordecai in Jews Love Black Cock.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
nice.
My audience is well aware, but if you go back to AVN 2018 on Showtime, you can watch me bomb in front of the whole industry.
I want to see this. What did you do? Like, were you one of the
So we won.
Presenters?
We won Best Comedy.
Cool.
And I was.
So you got to make a speech.
Oh, it wasn't much of a speech, and thankfully Showtime edited the fuck around me. I've told this story a bunch of times. Sorry to my audience, but you will appreciate this. So I'm sitting 4th row center, We win Best Comedy. Fucking Doug Benson's presenting this, by the way. And I stand up to give Joanna Angel a standing ovation. And Ike Diesel, who's a buddy of mine, is like, Matt, you're in the movie. Go up. Everyone, like every other movie, the whole cast went on stage when they won. So I'm fourth row center. I immediately go on stage. I'm the only person on stage. They hand me the fucking award. I'm also dressed like a rabbi during this. I was planning to just go to the back of the stage and stand there while someone who actually fucked in this film accepted the award. No. I'm standing there with the award going, I mean, just garbage. Absolute garbage comes out of my mouth. And Joanna, who was sitting at a VIP table in the back of the Hard Rock, slowly makes her way up. I mean, I'm dying up there. I'm like shooting daggers at Abella Danger, who's in the front row, who's in the film. Like, why are you not coming up here?
Why weren't they?
I have no fucking idea. Eventually, Joanna makes her way to the stage, gives an actual speech. We go backstage. But there was a good minute or two of me bombing in front of the entire fucking industry. Thankfully, Showtime cut the fuck out of the broadcast. But that was also, 2018 was the first year that they live streamed it. So I had friends texting me. I also had Burning Angel's PR person being like, what the fuck are you doing?
Oh, fuck. Not cool. Yeah, I think you did what you were supposed to do. You empty stage, you got up, you improvised. I think you did great and you deserve that award.
Sadly, I lost for my best non-sex performance, but, you know, I'm an AVN award winner because I was in the best comedy, I guess.
Well, Jews also love black pussy. And speaking of whiskey, doesn't Joanna Angel's husband, that's Small Hands, right?
Yep.
He's adorable. Doesn't he have a whiskey?
They have a whiskey. It's theirs.
Okay.
He's just kind of the brand ambassador.
What's it called?
It's called Doom's Whiskey. It's 100% 100 proof rye, American rye whiskey. It's really actually good. About $45 a bottle. I don't know why I'm just pawning, being a spokesperson for my friends, but yeah, it's good shit.
I've been wanting to check his whiskey out. I should order a bottle from them.
You 100% should. 100%.
Yeah.
I've known Small Hands when him and Joanna first started dating, when he was just a bartender down in San Diego.
Oh, that's cool. He's an amazing performer, he seems like.
Oh, yeah. Joanna has totally turned him out.
Oh, that's great. What a fucking amazing fucking fox of a woman she is.
Oh, yeah.
So who are some of your... Hey, did you ever meet my friend Paris Kennedy? She was a big porn star, and she's mid-30s now, so she definitely was someone you came up with, a redhead.
I know. So me and Paris have a bunch of mutual friends we never actually met.
Yes. You probably have a bunch of... Well, Annie, of course, Annie knew her, and that's what I meant to ask you, Paris. I mean, we're still really good friends. She's out of porn, out of state, doing great. But
awesome.
I just wondered if you ever met her.
No, I never did, but it was like a lot of just, mutual orbit.
Yeah. And Danny, the writer, he's amazing, and all those people.
Yeah, and of course, Veronica Ricci, demanded that I get you on.
She's so fucking cool. Oh. She's a really great girl. Very funny, very creative. I want to do more and more and more comedy with her, but... Oh, I love her to death. Huh?
I love her to death.
She's so funny. She's really selective about what she does, but I want to get her to do this thing where we're doms, we're dominatrixes, and we walk dogs, like the dog walking doms, like talking shit to the dogs,
Oh, that'd
be funny.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, I think that'd be really funny. And just the camera's on the dogs a lot, and then it looks up at us talking shit, and then you go back to the dog's face, Oh,
I gotta be a little hurt now. Like, Veronica hasn't done the show.
Why don't you? Well, she should. She'd be great.
I know. I keep telling her that. She's like, well, who are you going to book me with? I'm like, I don't need to book anyone with you. Just yourself. Like, I've known that girl... I don't even know how many years at this point. But it's like, you're funny and entertaining. Why would I need to book you with someone?
Well, that's the thing. That's what I said. It sucks when you go on these shows and there's 4 other guests. And also, you're really cool because I've gone on some podcasts and I'm like, all right, I'm this woman who does comedy and porn and I'm an escort and I'm weird. most people want to talk about my fucked up life, but I've done things where you show up and the dude talks about his stuff constantly, or the woman, and you're like, why am I even here? And you get the person to talk, and you get people to be funny and talk about weird shit, as you know.
I try, but there are definitely episodes where I have to just regurgitate my bullshit because, sometimes it doesn't go as well as you'd hope.
Like pulling teeth, man.
It's definitely been there.
Like the way I got into porn was through fetish, through spanking. My name in spanking, Claire Fonda. And we had a website where we used to talk to the girls if they were spanked growing up. And a lot of the girls in porn, that was a really good interview because they had been spanked a lot growing up. And they were very vivid and candid and all that. They were amazing interviews. Those girls were just so fun to get them to open up, and they loved it. But there would be once in a while like a teeth pulling situation. Yeah, no, I don't know. You're like, wow.
Yeah, the answers are just, yeah, nah, yeah. It's like,
yes. That's rough.
It happens. And that's part of the reason that there's alcohol involved in the show. Generally, hour 2 is when shit gets real weird, especially in the videos. Like, because without, as you can tell, like, I don't force anyone to drink. And if you're doing this in studio, it is a self-service show. Like, I will provide as much or as little alcohol as you want. But without fail, there have been some performers who were like, oh, I'm going to keep up with Matt with drinking. And it's like, oh, that's going to end really poorly for you. I outweigh you by probably over 100 pounds, and I drink a lot.
And they get sick?
The only person who's ever gotten sick in the history of the show was an author friend of mine who we took a break and then he puked in a cup while we were on break.
What kind of cup?
Like, literally the cup he was drinking out of. He's just like, can we take a break for a second?
Poor baby. Oh my God, that's funny.
We were drinking 100 proof rye, and he decided that he wanted to try to keep up with me. I'm like, all right, man. This is why
you don't seem like you're that fucked up, though, Yeah, but I guess that's the point,
Right. If I couldn't hold my liquor, this show wouldn't work so well. And there have definitely been some shows where, like, the next morning, like, did I save the episode? Fuck. It's just how...
Do you do anything besides drink?
I mean, I breathe, I eat food.
I mean, for party.
I love hallucinogens. 100% I love hallucinogens.
Oh, wow. Because you're mellow. You can handle that.
I don't know how many people describe me as mellow, but sure. I'll take that.
But compared to me, I mean, I feel like I'm like very like Coke 5 neurotic, Yeah.
Oh, that's just the South Florida in you. Come on.
Is it? Yeah, I just feel like I'm highly strung. I'm always highly strung. But people think I'm laid back. I guess I'm just nice. I'm just nice and hyper.
That could be it.
I guess that's where they get the laid back vibe. I'm not a fucking bitch,
Well, especially in this town. Where it's like...
Yeah.
What?
Relatively.
How dare you not give me a $100 bottle of champagne when I show up for your show?
Yeah, that's a little weird. I mean, I have had situations like when I was drinking more and I'm hosting a show and I'm hosting for free and it was a long drive and then I get there and there's only beer and that's when I'm like, okay, that guy, he's not into me sexually. But I still like did my job and I didn't call him out. I was just like, oh, okay, I guess I'll drink beer and we're not getting together. You don't want me. I'll have another beer. Yeah.
I'll have enough beers until this is okay.
Yeah. I used to get pretty lit on stage. I used to host shows at the Comedy Store at the Ice House and be pretty fucking wasted. And sometimes I'd fuck up people's names. But I always kept the show going.
That's the important part, right?
Yeah.
Did anyone ever get super butthurt about you fucking up their name?
No, nobody really got too pissed. I don't know why that is. I guess they were just nice and chill and maybe just trying comedy. No, nobody ever No, nobody called me out or complained, you know? I mean, one time some guy's name was like Manuel Flores, and I called him like Michael McGarity or something. I was like changing nationalities. And I think I remember being like, you're still Catholic or something like that. You know? But
You still have 9 kids. It's okay.
Yeah. You're still Catholic, you still have 9 kids, you're still drunk. Shut the fuck up.
Right? Get on stage, do your 5 minutes, get the fuck off.
Yeah. You're lucky to be on the Ice House main stage, motherfucker.
Right? This is one of the oldest comedy clubs in the U.S. It's an honor to be here no matter what I call you.
Now get me another Blue Hawaiian.
Oh, that'd be horrible coming up too.
That's what I used to drink. Like Blue Hawaiians, Long Island iced teas, and then adios, motherfucker.
Wow, you drank like a teenager.
I was drinking blue drinks. I was Blue Drinks McGee. And they would call it a Sally at the Ice House and make it really fucking strong.
Well,
yeah.
They need to do that shit like it's a fucking New York deli and actually put it on the wall and be like, this is the Sally. You can't order.
People would order it. People would go, I need a couple of Sallys and stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, that's cool. That's a good claim to fame. I mean, fuck. My brand is drinking and no bar names anything after me. Fuck. Things to aspire to, Sally. Things I have to aspire to.
Well, I think that's what, things you have to end up doing. I think that the thing was they were just saying they wanted it at a certain strength. You know, they wanted a real drink. They wanted to get fucked up, and you could only get that from the bar for the most part. Had to go to the bar.
Whatever cocktail server's like, I don't know what you're saying to me. What do you mean, it's Sally?
Yeah. Oh, you want to buy Sally a drink? Oh, okay, sure. Yay. Here, this is for you. I think he wanted a Sally, but, you know.
Hey, if it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
No take-backs.
Well, that's another thing. It's very hard to not drink in comedy because everyone's always handing you drinks and what can I get you? And here's a drink ticket. And it's just really hard. So I said I definitely want to take advantage of the quarantine. Plus, like, I don't like the behavior in liquor stores right now. I mean, I'm wearing my mask. I'm wearing my mask in every store. I'm going to keep doing that. Why the fuck not? I like masks. I look cute in the masks. If I'm not going to get my teeth fixed, I need a mask. So I'm keeping my mask on, and the people in the liquor store, they're not, and they're up your ass. And I guess it's just part of like the liquor store culture, but
this is why
me out a little.
This is why I do liquor delivery.
That's cool. That's a good idea. Who do you do that through? Well,
recently I'm supporting local business. There's an East Hollywood liquor store that has their own app for delivery. And they have an amazing liquor selection. So instead of going through Drizzly or Saucy, we used to be tight.
Okay. Saucy. Nice.
I used to order through Saucy all the time, but, you know, I'm going to support local businesses, and Saucy hasn't sponsored the show, so.
That's true. Yeah, that's cool that you do it through them. That's awesome. I wonder if there's a place to do it through around. Well, then I just have too much liquor. You know, my green card husband, he's an alcoholic. You know, he's my boyfriend from 20 years ago. So he just comes home and he's in the kitchen and he cooks and drinks. And he's thinking of doing like a drunk cooking show, you know, like he never quite finishes it, you know. That's kind of what goes on here.
That'd be amazing if he just passes out in the kitchen, like on camera.
Yeah. He just leaves this stuff. Yeah. Like he chops onions and walks away. But, you know, this is what it could have been. This is what we were striving for, this dish. That would be a cute.
You just put a title on it. Like 4 hours later, he wakes up, like finishes the dish.
That sometimes happens too. Yeah. Oh God. I drink so much less. I think at your age, that was when I was drinking the most. Like, yeah, getting really fucked up. And I had this sugar daddy who was taking good care of me. We were going out and I was having a lot of, what do they call them? Martinis. I mean, I'm not going to turn that down. I will have a martini again. I will go out and have a man buy me a martini again. It's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
But you know what? There's a lot of different personality types that piss me off in this pandemic, besides the people who are like more about the personal liberty of not wearing a mask than protecting those around them and courtesy. There's also the people who are like, I had all this shit going on until the pandemic. I was killing it until the pandemic, you know? Like, that pisses me off. Because they usually weren't.
No, it was all in their head. I mean, I believe all of us walked into 2020 like, yeah, 2020 is going to be my fucking year.
If you still think 2020 is going to be your year, you're a serial killer. That's one of my jokes.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely walked into 2020 being like, oh, it's going to be my fucking year. And thankfully, that dream got shot on in January, and it's just been continuing downhill, so...
What shit on your year in January?
An ex-girlfriend rolling through that the audience has heard too much about, so...
Oh, dear. Okay. Not the porn friend.
No. I would love to see her. No. Big ex-girlfriend rolled through, fucked shit up. I was like, okay. All been downhill since there. Okay.
I'm just waiting for an ex to... No, just kidding. I've not dated much the last... Really, it was already bad, but it got harder, like doing hardcore and escorting, like dating got even harder. Like all that really happened last year romantically for me was I got a crush on a client.
Ooh.
And then I got a crush on like another dude. It was like I got a couple of crushes and nothing really went anywhere.
How'd the dynamic change or go with the crush on the client?
It got weird, but I'm pretty demure about that stuff. I don't think that there was anything. It was probably both of us. We didn't see each other. He started wanting, it was really weird. Like it moved to a little bit out of my comfort zone. And as soon as it moved out of my comfort zone, it wasn't what he said it was going to be. Like, it was I see a client and my rates are a lot more affordable than a lot of people's, but he was still a generous client, but I just know what other people's rates are. So it gets kind of weird when a client's like, hey, you should bring so-and-so. And I'm like, okay, then you should have $2,000 ready because that's that person's rate, you know? Like, is that why am I just supposed to be like a broker or something? Or am I a realtor?
Right. Like,
That's nothing wrong with being a realtor, but I'm not licensed to do that.
Like, am I your entry escort? Like, what are you trying to do here? Like, am I the starter escort? Like, what's happening?
Or don't get me into pandering because that's a felony, you know? So
unless there's a camera involved in California.
Huh?
Unless there's a camera involved in California.
That's true. That helps. I mean, anything to take the edge off. But yeah, sometimes I've had situations in escorting where a guy will see me once and, you know, it's good, it's chill. You figure you hit it off with that person. And then you get a request for a reference because they want to see someone else. And okay, cool. Yeah, he's a good guy, you know, no problems with that guy. And then you get another request for a reference. And then another, and you're like, dude, you saw me once. And so like the third request for a reference, I'm like, honestly, I saw this guy once. It was 6 months ago. We had a good time, but I can't really give you some extensive reference.
Right. He won't.
He's like a good guy.
In the one time we saw each other, he wasn't violent.
Yeah, I'm alive.
Right. Didn't end up in a dumpster.
Yeah. I'm not texting you from, you know, so at that point, I almost want to be like, can you tell him to find another reference point, you know?
Or pay me for the reference service.
That would be cool. Like, just kick me back. Just have some guy be like, hey, Jamie, been so busy fucking other prostitutes. Here's $50 or something. Or what's your Amazon and what's your wish list? Just a little kickback. That's like, it's so, I mean, I've had so many like weird, just because I'm such a mom type and, you know, people are their moms, you know, like mom sent me money, mom fixed this button on my shirt. You know, I can't sew, so I have to do other shit for people. Like I had somebody like get their mail sent to my house and it just became the most complicated situation and it's almost over, thankfully, but
Almost
I mean,
over? How long has this been going on?
They have to. I shouldn't even talk about it, but they have to prove that they're not doing anything illegal, which they're not. So it should work out. But what I don't like is just
Mail fraud's a crime. Come on.
Yeah. I just don't like junk mail, and then I'm just nobody else ever, please. I've been ruined for all the good people who want to use my address. I mean, that person's a good person, but like, if you look at people and people keep getting out of their lives, it's because they put too much on people, you know? Like, if you're talking to someone and you say, hey, what happened to so and so? You guys were really tight. And that person's like, I don't know. He won't call me back, you know? I start thinking, you overwhelmed that person with your twisted sexual demands. No.
I just feel, the trash saw themselves out.
That I get. That is cool. And I know that you were like, that person's fucking with me too much. Time to go. Passive, here's the door kind of vibe.
Yeah, and that's just how I roll. It's just like, oh, okay, you don't have time for me in your life? Well, cool.
Same here. That's how I am too. I don't mind being ghosted, and I will ghost people. I'm fine. What's the alternative? Somebody looking me in the eyes and telling me they don't want me, and I'm supposed to take that hit? What, in a public place? Okay, or even like by Zoom, that would suck. Just fucking ghost me. You know what's a great thing about this whole pandemic is there's no like public breakups. I mean, there's no dating either, but
oh, there's Zoom dating.
Yeah, I was talking to a couple of guys on Bumble, and one guy was like, do you want to just take a walk? No, I don't. I don't know you, you know, and I put on my dating profile, I put, if I'm talking to you, I'm quite a bit older than you, and I'm high risk for COVID-19, so we will not be meeting.
Do you want to take a walk is just like going into bed and being like, do you want to just cuddle?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Which
let's not.
I'll shamelessly say that, yeah, I've definitely said that in my youth. Like, no, I just want to cuddle. No one ever wants to just cuddle. No one.
But the fact that you want to cuddle is nice. Now, I don't.
Oh, that was a lie. That was the times I've said it was an absolute lie. I've said it with a throbbing erection and been like, I just want to cuddle. It was.
You should have been like, after. Ha 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 ha.
Well, if she couldn't see the throbbing erection, then we have a problem anyway. So,
If this girl's not tuned into my boner, okay, yeah, I'll leave you to your own devices.
In her bed. Yep.
Devices. I've been jerking off a lot for OnlyFans, but I've also been doing some really weird clips. Oh, today this was fucking funny. So at the start of the pandemic, a very nice young man funded a video with cakes and pies, but it was selfie. So it was like me hitting myself in the face with the pies and then sitting in a huge cake. So that was a really fun video. It's called A Pie Face for the Principal. I have to send it to you. You might like it. And it's like Three Stooges vibe, you know? So there was that. And during the process, I lost my thermometer. And I was like, what the fuck? Did it get into a pie and then I threw it out? I mean, what the hell happened here? So I ordered off Amazon another thermometer. That's for mouth, rectal, arm, because I use the rectal for like fetish videos.
Okay.
And it took like 2 months. And I said, hey, man, I want a refund. And then this nice Chinese guy was like, I hope your family's well, but just give it more of a chance. And I was like, oh, my God, like maybe this is from Wuhan and he's lost relatives and we all are in this together. So I said, I'll keep waiting. And then finally I was like, it still hasn't come, you know, and he's like, okay, file a refund, you know, and then it came, huh?
See, no mercy on my part. Like at that point, I'm like, nah, man, refund.
Yeah, you would have filed a refund yesterday. Well, my slacker ass didn't get around to it. Guess what came in the mail today?
Your thermometer?
The thermometer.
That shit was probably held up in customs.
It was held up in customs or something, and it was all nicely wrapped. So I immediately cut it open. I felt very safe because nobody had touched that package for 2 months while I was traveling. And I decided to make a rectal temperature taking video. So here's the kicker. Put it in my butthole. Beep, beep, beep. Really fast. It's a really nice thermometer. Take it out. Dude, it's in Celsius.
Like, I have no idea what this fucking means. Fuck. What is my body temperature supposed to be in Celsius?
Supposed to be 37.
That doesn't sound right.
98.6 is 37.
I
mean, this is really cool. Like the fact that it's a rectal reading, that's the most accurate. So I read it. I read myself the riot act. But it was so funny to pull it out and be like, Celsius. I'm like, what a dumb bitch. I don't know the conversion. Where's my phone?
I gotta Google this. Could you imagine in olden times, like you got a Celsius thermometer and be like, well, I'm just fucked. I have no idea. No idea. Kids these days don't know how well they got it. They could, the wealth of knowledge in their fucking hands.
I like Alyssa Poteet. She's very cool. She's the inspiration for one of my jokes.
Oh,
and
no.
Somebody said, was that joke about me? I said, no, it was about a lesbian. And I didn't want to name Alyssa just because I thought they don't know her, but I should actually make it clear. I should give her credit for inspiring me for that joke. I don't know if you've heard it. It's actually on the trailer for my special. I'm talking about a young girl. I go, these young female comedians, very respectful. This young girl was walking me out to my car. And she said, I want to make sure you're safe. I said, please, they're going to kill me so they can rape you. That was about Alyssa. And I didn't say that to her that night, but I remember thinking that, you know, because of how ageist this town is. But Alyssa was the one who prompted that joke. And so I need to tell her that joke was about her. Are you good friends with her?
I'm decent friends with her.
She's really cool. She's a dog person, you know?
No, I like Alyssa a lot. She was an absolute blast on the show. Like, she came to me via another comedian, so.
Have you had any comedians be assholes?
Not directly. I did. Indirectly, Chris Cope gave me an edible without me knowing it.
Holy shit.
Which.
That's trippy.
Just ended up being pretty fucking funny on air, I thought.
That is funny. But how's Cope doing?
I haven't talked to him in a while, but this was a couple of years ago that he. He did
very
this.
Funny.
Oh, I love Cope. I love him.
Yeah.
No one else is really. No, the comedians are generally my better guess.
Mm-hmm. I could imagine.
Everyone's generally got some stories, generally got some weird shit that's got going on.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of, weird shit.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of dysfunction in comedy. The one drawback is because I do have a lot of adult performers on and, a porn podcast, which I don't feel it is, but people like to stereotype it as a porn podcast. I have some people who are like, oh, I can't do your show because it'll hurt my career.
I know. I've seen that. I know that Rosie Tran. I gave her a Chinese name. You know Rosie Tran?
Mm-hmm.
She has a podcast with Tommy Pistol called Dirty Chains.
Oh, yeah. I love Tommy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Rosie I've known for years. She's cool. I know her from comedy. And she says that she gets that too from some comics because Tommy Pistol is the co-host, And
Tommy's fucking hilarious. Tommy's one of the funniest.
Tommy is so talented. He's just such a good human being.
Oh, yeah. People forget that, yeah, he fucks on film, but he's a father of two. He's a funny motherfucker. Like, Tommy is one of my favorite people.
I want to do a scene. I was also doing impressions on my OnlyFans of Dr. Burks. Deborah Burks, and I was like holding up bleach and licking bleach and stuff and, talking dirt. I was like, Trump, I want to drink your cum, but first we drink, close to your name. But yeah, like, well, oh, fuck. All right. Well, okay. Oh, yeah. Tommy. And I was like, if I do a Dr. Burks, he would be Fauci. Like Tommy Pistol should be Fauci, He would be great. Fauci, however you say it. Here's the deal. I Googled Fauci as a cougar. I'm always wanting to see what people look like when they were younger. And he looks exactly the same. If you Google young Dr. Fauci, like exactly the fuck, which means he's aged really well.
I mean, that's one way of looking at it.
He's just like got browner hair, but I mean, he's like got a cute, tight little body. He runs like 5 or 6 miles a day still.
Well, good on him. I have never found that motivation in my life.
I wonder if he can still get it hard.
Dude, he's a doctor. He can write himself his own ED medication.
That's true. I mean, and he could give himself a shot or whatever, but does he even need to? He seems just so healthy and virile and full of life. And
you may never know. He'll just give you the business and, you go about your day.
Yeah, I wish he would give me the business. He's the first older man I've had a little crush on in a long time. I really loved him today because he was like he was just really defying Trump at this point because he goes, it's not just going to disappear. Contradicting.
Have you slid into his DMs yet?
No, I don't know if he has them.
He's got to have social. It's 2020. Everyone's got social media.
Yeah, but I think he's not going to follow me back. I don't think he's seen my special.
Well, it doesn't hurt to try.
I know. I should try. Yeah, you'd be surprised. Who just answered me back on YouTube? Carol Baskin, because I want to play her in porn. So I was trying to warm up to her a little bit. But that's just because, as you saw from the Tiger King, Carol Baskin, she knew how to do social media from the get-go. I mean, she was all about it.
Well, and the thing about it is, from my friends in Tampa, I'm pretty sure Carol Baskin was a streetwalker back in the day. So, you remember the part in Tiger King where she's like, oh, I met husband number 2 while I just happened to be walking on Nebraska Avenue, right?
Huh.
My friends from Tampa are like, Nebraska is where you troll for streetwalkers.
Wow, that's very interesting. So she knows about outreach.
Right. So,
yeah.
I was talking about this on a previous podcast, I think the one with Jaden Cole, where it's like, well, Carol Baskin probably murdered her second husband, but should we be celebrating her that she's, potentially a street-level sex worker who made herself into a multimillionaire?
Hell yes, we should. And from what I've seen about her husband, I mean, people who've been in abusive relationships, we know when people are, I get it. I mean, he was tyrannical. He was burdening her. I've been in relationships where the person's bringing nothing to the table and you're trying to balance everything and pay for everything. And you're also just trying to keep the peace. Those dynamics she speaks of. I mean, yeah, I hope she killed him. I mean, I shouldn't. I'm not saying murder. She killed him in self-defense. I love how her Wikipedia says killed her husband, whacked him.
See, that's the problem with Wikipedia. Edited by anyone.
Yep, I'm trying to stay out of that shit. I'll tell you that. I don't need that shit, Yeah, people do like me. I'm sure, I don't want to get fucked with that shit.
Hey, she may have murdered her husband. A tiger may have ate him. Who knows? But if she came from being a street-level prostitute to where she is today, good on her.
Good for her. Yeah, I mean, she's got this really, if I'm going to play her in porn, she's just got this very, almost medicated, but she's got this calm that I really get into, this calm vibe. So I've got to channel that. Got to definitely channel that.
And you also need a flower crown.
I ordered it. It comes Thursday night from Amazon Prime. So I've got the flower crown coming, and I've got the soft pink lipstick, and I've got plenty of prints.
Nice.
So this is going to be a thing. And I guess what else I have, Matt?
Do you have an elderly dude on a chain?
Huh?
Do you have an older dude on a chain?
No, but
that's
easy to, if I can't, I could make that happen. I have a cage.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I have a cage. So how she got in the cage and she's like, big cats don't belong in cages. I'm going to be doing one of those, but I'll probably be naked.
Probably.
Yeah, definitely. There's no maybe in this house.
Right.
There's no maybe here.
We commit to shit in this house.
Mm-hmm. And Winnetka, there's no level 5. There's,
We do or we don't.
Yeah.
Sally, hold that thought for 1 second because the whiskey's running right through me. I gotta run to the restroom real quick.
Oh, sure.
If you want to mug to the camera while I'm running, I will do that.
All right, cool.
I'll be right back.
Take out your cock. Make it hard for mommy. Stroke it. Come. Put it back in your pants. Okay, so my hot Jewish doctor from Kaiser, he recommended this shit. And I never get stuff if it doesn't say cruelty free, but I bought it. He swore it would really help with some skin issues. Oh, and by the way, I pretty much, the minute quarantine started, my period stopped. So I feel like I got laid off dick. I'm on Bumble looking for a few good murder hornets. I figure I have a shot to get into something because there are no sports. This is like a really weird Zoom mic. By the way, comics, do Zoom mics. Do them, man. Do them. They're interesting. They're really interesting for your writing. They're really super interesting. I was just telling comedians that they should do Zoom mics. They're really interesting for your writing, you know? There's nothing wrong with Zoom mics. There really isn't.
There's definitely some comedians I've talked to that have talked shit about them.
Well, I think the kind of comedian that's going to love them more is the kind of comedian that just has to get their writing out, you know? So if you've got to, you know, it builds up. Your writing's like a load of jizz, you know, you got that corkscrew thing. If you don't get it out every few
You gotta
days.
get the poison out. You gotta get the poison out.
You gotta get the poison out. Dat fan is fucking cool. I love him, man. His Zoom mics are really fun. He's got a whole studio. He does these live feeds. He gets thousands of viewers worldwide. It's been really fun.
Awesome.
Yeah, Dow has good ones. Fourth Wall, they're good. You know, Fourth Wall's keeping going. Fucking rad. I do like this one on some Tuesdays, COVID crack up. It's really fun.
I haven't attended any of the Zoom mic shit. I really should. Alyssa keeps posting them, and I'm like, oh, I should go check that out, and then I don't.
Yeah,
I'm a bad friend.
Well, you're doing this. You're doing this too, you know.
Well, yeah, I'm not a comedian. Like, I don't perform on mic, so I have no writing chops.
Oh, you should just come watch one then.
Well, yeah, no, 100% would be in the audience. I didn't mean if I misled you to talk about comedy and me not being a comedian.
Oh, fuck. Well, then that's awesome. I would,
Sounds like I feel dirty now talking comedy with you. Ew, gross.
What other porn stars have you had here that I would know? Have you had Rebecca Vanguard? She'd be really great.
I have not.
She's cool. I'll definitely suggest she does it. She's lovely and funny. She lives out here with me. She's really good. She's really cool. Spencer Bradley is a new porn star I just worked with.
Spencer's supposed to do the show in the near future. I was talking to her publicist.
Good.
We're supposed to set that up in the near future.
Spencer's lovely. She's very funny. You'll love her. She was my daughter in Mom Likes to Watch 3 or something like that.
Nice.
Yeah, she's a good one. Who else do I love? Ashley Lane's cool. Has she done it?
Mm-mm.
She's kind of shy. She'd be really good though. She'd be great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do I need to wait till it's in person to like warm her up with alcohol? Is she that level of shy or?
Yeah. There's some people who it's that Zoom thing. It's like there's some people who definitely wouldn't want to do it that way. They want to do the whole event. I'm more like, what? I don't have to drive from Winnetka. I get to sit home. I get to be with my pets. Throw up the screen.
Well, pre-COVID, I refused to do remote shows. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Did not do remote shows.
Course.
Like, this is an in-person, we get fucked up, we do weird shit. Like, I've been embracing the COVID shows because the show must go on, but the minute pandemic's over, I am going to go back to no more remote shows. Like, this is all...
Of course. It's not your brand. Your brand is that you guys hang out and you drink, you know?
Yeah.
That's what the show's called.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a drunken hang. It's 100%. Or what I want for the audience, every episode, is to feel like they're overhearing our conversation at a bar. Wherever it goes. Sex, drugs, rock and roll, bad behavior. Wherever it goes. It's like, oh, I was 3 bar stools over from that conversation.
Yeah. Well, that's why it helps to have a weirdo like me who it doesn't really matter if they're drinking. It's still going to be like really twisted. But let me tell you something. This is going to be a financial goal. Pay pigs, listen up. I'm just kidding. I don't have any pay pigs.
For the moment.
Like, what could be a synonym for pay pigs? Hash hogs. But like, what's a low-level pay pig? Ghetto grunters? I don't know. So listen up. My financial goal is that I am going to, when the pandemic is over, I'm going to come back on Matt's show, but I'm going to Uber from Winnetka to Hollywood, get so fucked up with him and Uber back. And I'm going to be able to afford that because some pay pig is going to pick up the tab and I'm going to get drunk and talk about the weirdest shit. They're going to be like, lady, you already did today and I didn't have to spend any money.
Yeah, but they're going to get off on the power that they were able to provide that for you.
Is that how it works? I don't understand.
I don't know. I've never been anyone's pay pig. I mean, don't let the nice apartment in the background fool you. I'm not in pay pig money.
Pay pig money. That's the thing. Like, I get a lot of really good dudes on OnlyFans, and then I find out that they're like, you know, unemployed or struggling or really young or, you know, and I'm like, I don't want to be like trying to milk them, you know.
Hey, don't discriminate against really young. Justin Bieber was a millionaire in like his teenage years.
Have you ever seen that video I have where I pretend to be Justin Bieber's neighbor and he's throwing eggs at me?
I have not.
That's a cool video. I'm really proud of that. My ex-boyfriend, who was a minor league pitcher and a major league alcoholic, he is throwing eggs. I'm like, Justin, I'm your neighbor. Everyone's very angry about, you know, like the egg. Wasn't there some kind of egg thing? Didn't he egg someone's house? There was like an egg scandal.
He did a lot of wild shit. That's what happens when you're a multimillionaire as a teenager.
He did some crazy shit with eggs, and I'm like, I understand you're angry, and then he like hits me in the chest with an egg, and those fuckers hurt. Like, to crack an egg flying through the air on your chest, you know.
Well, especially when it's thrown at like 70 miles an hour.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, you know, it's a really funny video if you're bored. It's on my YouTube. I have all kinds of weird shit on my YouTube.
Speaking of your weird YouTube videos, were the failed porn YouTube videos that you recently put up, were those actual failed porn or were those bits?
Those are failed porn. The one is a little bit fake with the dogs, but it's just what happens every time. But I said, you know what? That red Teddy lingerie looks really good, and it doesn't look that fake. But no, those other porn fails are total porn fails. When my husband walks out and the feet are up on the steering wheel, and then the one when my ex-boyfriend's drunk and he farts, and I'm just like, whoa, you know. Oh no, that's they're all fails. Yeah. I just made a rectal thermometer one where the cat got in the shot, but it's not. I think I showed. I don't want to put nudity on YouTube.
Fuck no, they will.
Some minor full frontal. Yeah, it's 8. My whole YouTube is 18 and up, but you know I don't want to like push it.
I mean, that Teddy might have been pushing it a little bit because there's definitely.
Which one?
The Teddy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, all my shit's pushing it a little bit
because there's definitely areolas through the Teddy.
Oh no, you can see some lip. You know.
I'm a breast man. I was looking up. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, that's your... who's that? Some guy with a mask just brought some food in. I like to see the masked men walking around.
Yeah, that's my roommate.
Really
you may know him. Steve Javers is my roommate.
Who is that?
Steve Javers.
Is he a comic?
No, he is the former managing editor of AVN.
Oh, I don't know him. That's cool, though. That's really cool.
We are very much a porno household. We're very much a porno household.
That is... Whereabouts? You live in East Hollywood?
According to my Twitter, yes, but no, I live in Hollywood.
Oh, okay. Cool, though.
I never updated it from when I moved a little further west.
I like it. You like the West Valley? You like the 818?
I feel like you're trying to seduce me right now. What are you doing? Trying to get me to come to Winnetka?
45-minute drive. It's 45 minutes from everywhere.
Well, not in the pandemic.
No, you're right. The plus side is it's quicker to get to Winnetka. The downside is this thing will kill you.
It's like, No.
Yeah.
I'm not driving anywhere for sex. I'm trying to be resolved in that shit.
I'll just put it into my clips. Yeah, it's honestly, I feel like if it weren't for, like roommates and things like that, if we were both living on our own, we'd probably be taking more risks. But the fact that you could get other people sick, bring it into a house. Have you known anyone who's gotten it?
I know 2 people have gotten it. One person who's died.
Who died?
Dude I knew from back in the Midwest, from back in the day. But he was only in his
Really?
mid-50s.
Mid-50s. What kind of health complications did he have?
I don't really know. Like, I was close. I haven't seen that dude in probably 15, 16 years. I was closer, and I wasn't super close with his wife, but I was closer with his wife at this point than I was him.
Wow.
Like, the only reason I even knew he died is because his wife posted something like, Facebook friends with her, not Facebook friends with him. I hadn't seen him in, forever. But it still made this much more real because he went in with pneumonia on March 29th and was dead a week later. And if you
by the time you went in,
you look at his Facebook post, they intubated him within like 3 days of being in the hospital, and then he just didn't make it.
Yeah, that sucks. Well, a friend's mom died, and it's been it's very, very fucking scary. And then the test, I think the results take like a week to come back or something, depending on what test you get.
And they have a lot of like 33% false negatives.
Yeah, it's better and that's another thing too. Like I just, even if you kick it, nobody wants to be feeling shitty for a couple of weeks and scared. And then I've heard about people having strokes.
Yeah, young people are having strokes. Some of the lung damage, they're not sure it will ever clear up.
Oh, no. Yeah. But you know what? I like that at least we're talking about it on here, because I did like a podcast the other day, and right before we went on, the dude was like, we're not talking about the virus at all. Like, it was cool. It was only half an hour, and we were just promoting each other's stuff, and the guy's really cool, and that's just, I'll follow your format. But I was almost, it's not like he's Republican. He's not like trying to deny that it's happening.
Oh my God, speaking of Republicans, well, first and foremost, this show is real life. Like, I talk about real shit. I've talked about failed relationships. I'm talking about getting STDs. Like, this is real life. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, the biggest crisis in our lifetime. I'm just going to pretend it's not happening.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
No.
2, there's a couple, I don't know why, but there's a couple really hot Instagram models I follow that have gotten full on no, we have to be let out. It's all right. And I'm just like, no matter how much I want to fuck you, Jesus Christ, I want to fuck you, I can't put up with this. I mean, maybe it's a sign of me being older and more mature, but I'm just unfollow. One of them posted a video of her out at Huntington Beach in a really hot fucking American flag bikini, being like, this is all impeach Newstead. This is all bullshit. I'm like, oh man, my erection is so confused right now.
I'm glad that you feel that way. I know it's a real fucking turnoff. It's a real fucking turnoff. Like, if some guy's like, I'm immune, or I had it in December. No, you didn't. You just had a fucking shitty Christmas,
I mean, you could have had it, but there's also reports coming out of Asia where people are getting reinfected. Not taking the risk.
Exactly. Oh, God, don't try and be different by, this rebellion against keeping other people safe. It's bullshit. Yeah, not a fan of that at all. Yeah, I'm very happy to feel supported by my roommate, and he is an essential worker, but he's respectful, and he's Asian, so he's like, I was telling you about this for a long time. He's Japanese, so he's he knew this was coming, and the Jewish people knew it was coming too.
Speaking of your green card husband, have you gotten Japanese citizenship on the way back? Have you gotten it?
No, but I could apply and get it, and I should, right?
Hell yeah, Japan's the best place on earth.
I've never been. I should totally get Japanese citizenship.
You should, if they'll give it to you.
They will.
Japan's my happy place, so.
Okay, then I'm going to get it. Then I'm going to apply and I'm going to get it. Okay, that's another thing I can do, Matt, during this pandemic. Apply for Japanese citizenship and I'll get it.
Yeah,
Okay.
they have universal health care.
Yeah, I might need to go there, especially if Trump gets in another 4 fucking years.
Right? I mean, you just have to blow your genitals while you do porn.
Half my porns do that anyway. They're like, she's too old. We need to make it more artsy. Just make it performance art.
Just pixelated penetration.
Have you seen any of my granny porn?
I have not. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, it's all right. It's cool. You
And
know, I'm.
the problem is now that, like, we've hung out, I'm not going to watch it. Like, because I'm making a point to not watch porn with people I know in real life unless I've actually been inside them. That's the rule.
That's nice of you. That's cool of you. That's cool that you're like that. Yeah. Like I say in my comedy, I say I'm actually like more known for my comedy. And if you're watching my porn, you're watching too much porn. Like all those things are true. I definitely thought I would be able to make more money in porn. But by the time I got into porn, 2017, people, like a lot of the companies I shot for have gone under in the last couple of years because porn's free. So
yeah, porn's free. It's also a fucking monopoly. Because imagine for the mainstream audience that pornography was all being distributed by Netflix and not paying other studios for their content and promoting their own content ahead of everyone else's. Because that's pretty much porn's model at this point.
Yeah. That's
Pornhub has definitely gotten better about paying people, but I've been in since 2010. So I remember I've seen the full on, like, people just getting their fucking content devalued by Pornhub. Just be like, meh, what are you gonna do about it, motherfucker?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I started in fetish in Y2K. So what started fucking it up then was the affiliate programs. And, you got to go with them. It's progress and you got the quick fix, but then those people are getting, God bless them, the bloggers, it's all good. But then they're getting 50% of the sales forever, 50% of the subscription every time it rolls around. And
also in those days, because of the bandwidth problems, every site was allowing you to download content, and then they ended up on fucking LimeWire or wherever else it was getting pirated that way, because you just didn't have the bandwidth to stream it. Didn't exist.
Yeah, and I know people who were in spanking videos like fetish in the 90s, 80s, and 90s, and they would sell stuff like out of the back of the New Yorker or something. I mean, they made a killing. They would have ads in like Cosmopolitan Mag. I mean, they made so much money.
Yeah, but think of the pain and the logistics of having to box up VHS tapes and mail them to people.
I am not going to Here's one thing. I was about to start selling my panties because I was getting a lot of demand for it. And it seems like a lot of people are doing that off OnlyFans and doing really well. And then COVID-19. I mean, the last thing you should be doing is sending stuff in the mail, sending clothes in the mail.
Well, but, I disagree, because you should definitely be supporting the postal service, because they're trying to defund that motherfucker. If that shit goes under, we're fucked.
Who's trying to defund that? Let me guess.
Federal government.
Uh-huh.
Our current administration is not trying to bail them out. So there's actually an amazing piece on Last Week Tonight that came out on Sunday about it.
Really?
So
where's the piece?
On HBO, on Last Week Tonight with John Oliver.
Oh, okay, cool.
Because that's my generation. I'm getting news off a comedy show.
Yeah.
But
that's good.
There was a bill passed in like 2006 that made the postal service have the money for all their pensions ahead of time. So they've been running a deficit ever since, and continuing to do so. And they went to the Trump administration and said, we need an $89 million or $89 billion bailout.
Yeah.
Because though it's a federal office, it is required to be self-funded. They're not like our fucking military. We're like, oh yeah, we could totally have a guy who makes $40,000 a year launch a $100,000 a year missile at somebody, or a $100,000 missile at somebody,
God, I should have been trying to date a postal worker in like 2006.
Well, I mean, they still make pretty good wages.
Yeah, they have to. They stick with it. I mean, I've had the same guy for like a decade. Oh my God, this is so funny. When I lived in Reseda, there was this mailman. And sometimes we'd shoot like the fetish videos in the yard, like the spanking videos. like not actually spanking the girls, but I'd be the mom and the girls would be like fighting in the yard and I'd run out of the house and go, you two girls, get in here right now. And you know what you're getting. And the mailman like caught on and he was cool. He was this Asian dude. He's like, my name is Hung. And he goes, don't be ashamed of what you do. You're making money. He's like, I'd do it too. I'd do it too if I could get away with it.
I think he was trying to, join the fetish video.
He was trying to be the dad. Yeah, he wanted to play the dad.
Where is he now? Put him to work.
Probably still delivering mail and receipt because, like you said, it's a good gig as long as they don't get defunded. Okay, cool. Then I am gonna, Then I am gonna do that. There's this one dude, and he's really been wanting these. There's this pair of silky. These aren't it, but it's like a silky pair of panties.
I love that you just pulled panties off camera. Just like, yep, these are here.
They're in the top drawer. They're next. Yeah. These screens are hiding a lot of evils in this room. These screens can know.
I just figured they were hiding like 10 cats.
5, honey. 5 and 3 dogs.
I was exaggerating for comedic effect. Sorry.
You doubled it. You doubled down on it, didn't you?
I mean,
you doubled down.
Just like me describing my penis to someone.
That
needed a horrible rim shot. That was a bad joke. It was.
No, that somebody said something like, this is some kind of small dick joke or something I got sent today or some sort of small dick text. By the way, like sometimes I get guys who want a dick braiding and like the situation's just not good, and
well, that's what they want. They want to be humiliated.
I guess so, but I'm just like not great at that. Oh, gosh, this guy.
Just pretend like they're a bad open micer.
I'd still fake laugh.
Well, hey, that dude might be into you fake laughing at his dick.
You might need it. So 2-inch murder hornets are big, but my 2 inches are small. Yeah, okay. That's what it is. Murder hornets.
Hey.
Shout out to my friend Mario Tonti, last name. He's a boy who gave me a joke. Any boy who gave me a joke gets a shout out. Some kind of murder hornets joke. From me. I'm like, it sounds better coming out of my mouth. You're right. Oh, I used this. This is some lube I got at a porn party. I used it on that rectal thermometer earlier. And I was just remembering like how, okay, we talk about porn doesn't have the money. You're not making but there's still plenty of money in it because you could go to parties and you could get free drinks and you don't have to be young. They're going to liquor you up and they're going to give you swag.
So that might be some money laundering, but
true that. That's what that might be. Yeah, that is probably what that is. This is a good product, though. I like that.
Oh, no, there's some good products. And there's still a ton of money in novelties. Absolutely a ton of fun. Yeah. For fuck's sake, Adam and Eve's whole business model was to shoot porn as a loss leader for their novelties and toys.
Yeah. Adam and Eve, oh my gosh, they're just so hard to work with. It's so hard to, like, get a sales rep to hook you up with anything. But, I mean, I've heard you can get paid by them. Sext Panther, I'm on Sext Panther, and they're good. They're reliable. You get paid by them. ManyVids, pay on. I haven't had problems with ManyVids, pay on time. OnlyFans, Clips for Sale, of course, I've been on for years. Yeah, that's what happens with us chicks. We get, like, all different revenue streams going, and then you're like, boom, boom, Veritel. I got Veritel from overseas, offshore, you got a lot of different.
You got to diversify.
You got Trump stimulus check, you got.
Where did your $1,200 go?
I haven't even cashed it yet. I just got it yesterday. I'm going to pay off a little a back tax thing. And, oh, yeah, I have a dog, some blood work on a dog. He's 10. It's time. And also I like this curbside with the veterinarian. I like just handing your dog off and then picking him back later. I feel rich.
If you can only do that with children.
Right? Oh, my God.
Oh my God. Curbside orphanage.
Yeah.
Here you go. Take it. I don't want it.
Dumpster chopper. No, This is a really cool goal. Will you have me back on your podcast if I can get a pay pig to Uber me out there and then I get fucked up?
I mean, I'll have you on no matter what way you want to come on.
Okay.
Hey.
That would be really cool. Because I know you can't repeat your guests, you know?
Oh, I definitely do.
Okay. That's cool. That makes sense.
I've also, unlike most podcasts in Hollywood, I'm 200 plus episodes deep, so I can repeat people.
I had a podcast, Porn Mom podcast. It was out of Comedy Pop-Up.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that because I saw that that's on iTunes. Your last episode was March 16th.
It was very fun. My last episode, that was it, just right before. And they have a little studio, so, they had to go under. But, maybe it'll come back. I'm sure their studio will come back, but I'm thinking like September, maybe.
I have no faith for anything in 2020.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of how it's starting to look. Gavin Newsom's teeth were so bright today. Gavin Newsom, he's totally fucking hot. And I think he's doing a great job. This is not an easy gig. I think he's doing very, very well. It really helps that he really gives a shit about people, Yeah,
well, we do have a large percentage of the whole fucking country in our state.
Yes, we do. We sure do. It's pretty crowded. Valley feels more spacious, though. Winnetka, we got like a lot of plot. I actually like the ranchier parts of the valley too, like Reseda. If you get domestically abused, though, like people won't hear it, but neither will they hear spanking fetish. So that's good.
Well, but if you get domestically abused in Hollywood, no one will care.
Thanks for that joke too.
God damn it. I need a writer's credit on your next special at least. God damn.
Yeah, I give them out, I give them out.
Well, good. It'll be nice to have a writer's credit on something besides my own fucking show. Oh, you will get an IMDb entry for this, by the way.
Sweet. Thank you. That fucking rocks. All right. Is there anything disgusting you want to ask me?
Is there anything disgusting you want to tell me?
I'm an open, dirty book that I've never read.
Oh, I saw a cat in between the cracks there.
Oh, she's coming. Which one is that? Was she like a tuxedo?
I just saw black through the cracks.
Oh, that's Tuxford. Yeah, she's a friendly girl. Tuxie, Taquito, crazy cat lady. You know what? I say to you guys with your cat allergies, take your Claritin and drive to Winnetka and learn how to satisfy an older woman.
There are very, very few reasons to ever drive to Winnetka. And you really don't want to drive on Claritin. That's a bad mix.
You really don't want to drive on what?
On Claritin.
Oh, really?
It's drowsy, isn't it?
It doesn't affect me that way. Allergy medicine doesn't do that to me. Yeah. I think it's non-drowsy now.
Oh.
I used to drive on like Xanax and stuff. I used to drive from Winnetka like on a glass of wine and Xanax. One time I was so fucked up, and I'm not bragging about this. This is just ridiculous. I was going up Laurel Canyon, and I guess I went back. I went back and I hit a guy's car. It was very minor. And this dude came up to my window, and he was like a good dude. He was a liberal dude. You could tell, kind of like Birkenstocks, a little bit older than me. I was in my late 30s. At your age, I was drinking a lot. And he goes, I'm not going to call the cops or my insurance. There's no damage, but I want you to start thinking about how your actions are affecting yourself and others. And you need to think about that. And he got a little in my face. And I go, oh, I was heading to host at the Comedy Store, and I go, oh, you don't understand. I go, I'm in entertainment. And I just fucking floored it and went down Laurel, the light changed at the top of the hill. I was like, I'm in entertainment. Boom. Just left him standing there like he had gotten out of his car, And I was, oh, here I come. Comedy Store, here I come, zooming down Laurel. Fuck.
I can't wait to tell that to some disappointed lover. I'm in entertainment, and just leave.
I'm in entertainment. That is how you know what? I should be using. Look, if you get into something you don't want to be in, you've got to be like, I'm too afraid. I just act sketched out. People love to look for reasons besides that they're not hot enough or something, you know? So definitely just if I do start dating or going out or going on a walk with anyone, I'm going to be like sketched out and I'm going to use it as an out. Just I didn't feel comfortable, you know?
See, what I used to do when I'd go out on dates that were kind of questionable is I would arrange for a friend to text me at a certain time. And then use that. Like, it's weird as a dude to do that shit, but I did it.
No, I've heard dudes do that. Yeah.
Well, in the mid-aughts or somewhere in the 2000s, OkCupid had a sister site called Crazy Blind Date.
Never heard of that.
It was only in like 3 test markets. It was in LA, Chicago, and New York. Pretty much you decided on a neighborhood and when you were available, and they just set you up on a blind date.
Wow. How long was that up for?
A year, maybe.
Yeah, because some lawsuits.
Probably. But I did it a handful of times. Every time I'm like, yo, man, I need you to text me at this point. If it's not going well, I will use this as an excuse to get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Actually, in the mid-2000s, it was probably actually call me. It wasn't even text. It was just like, call me.
Yeah, I need you to call me. Oh, shit. That's my best friend. He never calls. Oh, I got to pick him up. Drama. Oh, did any girl ever go, bullshit? Is it because I'm older than I said? Or
I never used the out. Like, every time I was like, it's going well. I also got laid 100% of the times that I wanted to from that. The only time I didn't get laid doing one of those was when I decided this is not where I want to be.
Yeah. Between this person's legs, it's not where I want to be.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because that girl, and she was giving me the green light. Like, she lured me back to her apartment with cake.
Oh, hell yeah. Was it a splash time? Was she sitting on the cake or throwing it? Or
no, she was just a pastry chef and had a bunch of cakes in her. She's like, I'm a pastry chef.
Girl had a job and she had sweets.
Right. She lured me upstairs. We started messing around, and I'm just like, she's like, I shouldn't be doing this. I'm like, you're right. I gotta go. And
what was the turnoff? This girl sounds pretty good. I'm not into chicks, but
the turnoff was definitely stuff like, oh, I don't watch any movie that has a sequel because my daddy says sequels suck. Stuff. It's like, what? You don't think for yourself?
Oh, is this girl like, was she like super rural or something?
Not as far as I knew, but it was still like the idea of someone being with someone even for the moment who didn't think for themselves was just like,
yeah, that's a turnoff. Yeah, dumb shit like that is a turnoff. Yeah.
Yeah, like the only movie I've ever watched that has a sequel was the Godfather trilogy because my daddy says that's a good trilogy. I'm like, but you won't watch any movie that has a sequel? How? But what? No, she's
just trying to let you know she's a daddy's girl, and all she really has to do is go, I'm a daddy's girl. Yeah, not be like, I follow everything my dad said and come off like she's in fucking Branch Davidians, you know?
Right, and it's just like, but I still drunkenly was like, she's like, I have a cake I just made, at work today. Do you want to try it? I'm like, okay, I'll go. Messed around, and she's like, I shouldn't do this, which is generally in the post-Me Too world, this is not socially acceptable, but in the real world, when you're messing around with someone and they're like, I shouldn't do this, it's like,
you're like, cool, I will respect that. Yeah.
Right, no, I did do but a lot of times it's like,
yeah, of course. Yeah, you're like, oh, you should.
I'm not even pressuring someone. It was just like the demure, like, you actually want to do this. Come on.
Yeah. You want to, yeah, kind of thing. Or, yeah, I think, no, you should. You're so hot. How can you not? I mean, look how good you look. Yeah, that's hot too. Actually, that'd be a good clip. Like, I'm trying to think of solo clips because it's all me up in here,
right?
This quarantine and making clips. I shouldn't. Like a date, like I can be like a old time video date. Like, I'm here to date. I don't have sex on the first date. I mean, I shouldn't. I mean, it's happened, but I shouldn't. Shy stripping lady.
Right.
I'm gonna tell myself that one too.
Jesus Christ. Do you want me to just like come over and just sit in the writer's room for you while you pump content out?
And bring a camera. I also need a videographer. I need some pictures. I need content. Yeah. Oh, that looks great. I need for Southern Charms, I need stills. I need some old school stills. You know, like this is the older woman in porn with 10 different revenue streams and 5 cats.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
It is what it is. Oh, fuck. I'm hungry. 9 o'clock. I do intermittent fasting, and I'm not supposed to be eating this late, but I drank coffee. It's making me hungry.
It's 2020 during a pandemic. Time does not matter anymore.
It really doesn't. What time do you get up in the morning?
Morning?
Yeah, I kind of got that impression because I emailed you and I was like, he hasn't answered and he seems pretty polite and not a dick. So I think he's sleeping.
That would be an accurate statement. 2 nights ago, I was playing a video game shooting Nazis till 6 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you definitely have to meet Hero and you guys have to twitch it up.
100%. Yeah. I unfortunately discovered Sniper Elite 4. And there's just something pornographic to me about shooting Nazis in the face.
That's cool. Yeah, it's a facial. Hey, Klaus, want a facial? Yeah. Hey, you raped Anne Frank. Here's a facial for you.
One of the most confusing things that has ever happened to me was being at
What?
Was being at a Slayer show and seeing a very attractive woman who had a Nazi warbird on the back of her jacket. I'm like, do I punch? Yeah. Do I try to fuck you or punch you or both at the same time? I don't know what to do here.
It's fucking weird. I get that. Like when I did that show Hello Cougar, when I was fucking the guys off Craigslist, and I would get guys sending me shirtless photos and there'd be swastikas, and I was like, this would be really funny to have on the show. But then it would, if the guy was chill now, because it was just a one-time fuck, and I would interview people about politics, and I'd be like, can you talk about that? And that would be funny, you know, like it's just a one-time fuck show, but it would always break down before I met that guy. The guy would say some weird shit, or he'd be like, I don't want to be on camera. And I'm like, okay, I don't need somebody who's not down to do the show. They just want to fuck. And they get here and they're trying to negotiate their way out of it. Like all the guys on that show were cool guys who were like, I'm going to do an interview how I drove to Winnetka to have sex with an older woman. And then we're going to have sex. And then I'm going to do an exit interview. And, you know, enjoy your life. Those are all good guys.
Questionable choices out of people that have swastikas tattooed on them? Never.
I know. Yeah. It's going to happen, or hate or something, you know. It was a different time.
I just realized in hindsight what's fucked up is like, I totally shot down a girl that wouldn't think for herself because of her daddy issues, but totally considered fucking a Nazi. That is so fucked up on my point.
Well, she might have been like, Hitler says sequels suck, you know?
Well, to be fair, the Nazi was much hotter than the girl who had the daddy issues, so...
That's usually what happens. I mean, if some hot guy's talking about Burning Man and this and that, you know, you're like, yeah, I see, you know?
Yeah, well... One of the few things How I Met Your Mother got right was Barney Stinson talking about the hot to crazy ratio.
It's so true. You know what? I never watched that show. I've basically gotten old without watching TV just because of being broke and busy. And pandemic is my only chance to do it, and I'm doing it. I mean, I'm really making up for a lot of lost time. But How I Met Your Mother, I didn't know that it was we have kids and this is how we met. I thought it was I met your mom, you know? I guess I'm really into that mom-son sex shit is what it comes down to. All right. Are you kicking me off? Should I go eat?
I believe you're trying to exit so you can go eat. I'm not kicking you off of anything. That is not my MO.
When we drink, it will be longer and more disgusting, and there's going to be a pay pig picking up an Uber tab. And I'm going to come with booze.
All right.
You don't have to get me booze. We'll stop at the goddamn liquor store with the Uber. I'll get the guy to film me going in the liquor store and out of it. And, this will be a goddamn blast.
Oh, it'll be fucking amazing. Sally, before you run and go get food, tell people where they can get your amazing special, where they can find your comedy, where they can find your
Yeah,
podcast. Find all your fucking things.
First of all, Pay Pigs, we need you to sponsor the next time I do this. So that's out there. Sleazy Does It is on Amazon Prime and pay-per-view. It just came out. Check that comedy special out. Let's see. Sally Mullins 1 on Twitter. Sally Mullins 818. Am I doing this? Am I okay?
No, you're okay. I just thought of something. So Twitch recently just released the ability to have watch parties with anything that's available on Prime.
Oh, so cool.
If you really wanted to, if you wanted to be fucking wild with it, you could fucking do a watch party with your own special because it's available on Prime via Twitch.
So who else would be in the party? Like other people, like via Zoom kind of vibe?
If you wanted to. If you wanted to, you could absolutely do that. You could do a fucking watch party of your own special.
That would be fun. Oh, okay. We have to talk about that more. Yeah, so I can understand it.
I didn't mean to cut you off there, just like that.
No, we have to talk about it more so I can understand it and get my head around it. Because I'm a little special, you know.
It happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
So
Sally Mullins 818 on Instagram. Jamie Foster is for porn. Jamie Foster Strips is my porn site. Ms. Jamie Foster on OnlyFans. Ms. Jamie Foster on Twitter. Sally Mullins 1 on Twitter. I love Twitter. I love doing jokes. I've just got so many fake names and so many handles because I'm so old.
It's okay.
My free OnlyFans is Natalie Nympho.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, free OnlyFans, Natalie Nympho. I've got so many names.
It's like, what name do people call out on the what name do people call out while they fuck you? What?
Depends who they're paying to fuck. If they're fucking for free, it's Sally.
But the minute a sentence is transacted, then you got to figure out a different name to.
Yeah. Anyway, like I said, ex-escort. That's some 2019 shit. Don't think I'm going to go back to it. It was too affordable. I don't charge enough. I was like the people's prostitute. And they blow up your phone, and they're like trying to fuck you like a bunch of times because it's cheap, and it's just too much, you know?
And the one thing I'm bummed that we didn't get into, we'll definitely get into next time you do the show, is weird escorting stories, because
cool.
I definitely
got some good ones. Yeah, I got some good escorting stories.
Definitely have a lot of friends in the industry of escorting, just weird stories like, yeah, I rolled into this dude's place, and he just basically wanted to hang out while he smoked meth, and there was never any sex, and...
I've heard about that dude. Yeah. I mean, I would, if you're tweaking, I've heard that, it's not good on your cock. So that's probably an easy gig on some levels, but I don't want to be smoking meth. I'm too old for that shit. I don't need to cross into great granny porn.
Right? It's like, I have teeth. I want to keep them.
Yeah. I'm British. I want to, I don't want to push it.
Exactly.
I'm from England. I grew up in Florida. Where were you born?
Chicago, Illinois.
Oh, cool. I hear it's tough. There, like cold and
it's
expensive.
I mean, it's not LA expensive.
How long you been out here?
I've been on the West Coast for almost 10 years. I was in Vegas for a couple of years before I...
Oh, cool. I like Vegas, too. I really like it. I don't. Vegas. You don't like it?
There's some things I miss about Vegas. There's a lot of things I don't.
Do you have a gambling issue?
No, actually, I gambled a lot less once I moved to Vegas. I like gambling. Once I lived there, I barely gambled.
Yeah, usually video games and gambling go together like,
like peas in a pod. I know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do.
My beef with Vegas was I just got tired of having to go into casinos to do fucking anything. It's like, oh, I want to go to the movies. Casino. I want to go out to eat a nice dinner in a casino.
Casino, yeah.
On top of it, it's a really rough town to meet new people in.
Oh, I've heard that. I know. I have some friends who've been out there for years, and they don't have any friends. They don't have any cool friends. Yeah, it's too conservative.
Well, it's not even it's conservative. It's very cliquish because so many people are transient there. New people you meet expect you to be transient, so they don't want to invest time in you because they're like, you're just going to leave.
Oh, wow. I would say that's a plus side to people if they're just going to leave.
But you don't want to get too emotionally invested in someone who's not going to stick around.
Oh, I do. Speak for yourself. All right, Mom's got to go fix a meal.
Okay.
This has been fun. I can't wait for our Pay Pig project. So.
Fuck yeah. Project Pay Pig coming in 2021 or maybe 22, depending on how things go, if the world's still happening. For my audience, if you don't know already, you can find me at Matt_Slayer on Twitter, Matt Slayer on Instagram, Matt F. and Slayer on Facebook. You can find the podcast at And Now We Drink on Twitter, and Now We Drink _ on Instagram. And until next week, drink up, motherfuckers.
Cheers.